Yo, 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 and welcome back to Ton Tuesday. We are back with episode 106, and today we are going to dive into something I found a really interesting part because I am an old Ingress player. For anyone that don't know what that is, Ingress is the previous game of Niantic. Niantic, the ones that did Pokemon Go. Uh, as far as I'm aware, the company that I just mentioned has nothing to do with this, but the game has something ish in that direction. And I was a really huge Ingress player. So, here in a while, we're gonna dive into Globula, which is a geolocation based game. But beforehand, I want to just get everyone seated well, and please go ahead and like and share the room here so we can get much more people in here. We also have a special SBT for this event. It's also linked in the comments for the post, and Globala's own Twitter site has also tweeted it out. I have retweeted it as well, so please check that out as well. And maybe I don't know, you can get some of your friends interested, because who don't like the SBTs, and then they can get to hear about staying active while playing blockchain games, which is something that again I really find interesting. But first of all, I want to welcome our speakers on stage here, and I also want to just
Hey,
fastly
Danish.
make sure that we have people going through. Hello, and then I just want to mention a couple of fast news that we had on Telegram and Ton before diving into Global. I hope that is okay with you. So again, if you don't have much time, I can shift it around a bit, but I normally start with the news section. Um, so yeah, I hope that is okay. Otherwise, just intervene a bit. But we have one of the biggest marketplaces for NFTs on Ton, being Get Gyms, that finally introduced something that only was able to be done on like third-party small marketplaces before. Get Gyms has just introduced the ability to bypass the royalty, collecting royalty and marketplace fee on their own website. Which I find a bit interesting, because I'm a bit mixed in this option, or this choosing they've chosen, because I like being able to boycott some of the harsh marketplace fees, but taking away a collection's royalty fee could be definitely destructive for a collection. Because again, as many of you might not really realize, when trading NFTs, the second like the royalty from the collection is a small fee that, like, when you trade it afterwards or sell it again, the collection makes a small percentage on that. And if you're a game like Globula or anything where NFTs and stuff are game assets and might be traded later, this kind of fee helps you fund your project. So I'm a little mixed with them doing this, but at the same time, it's nice that we have the choice ourselves. But I'm also afraid that many people will just boycott it to save that penny, and don't realize how detrimental it can be for long-term projects. Because again, yes, there are some projects out there taking really ridiculous royalty fees, trading their collections, but there are also some actually doing it right. And for those people, I think that we need to stay honest and true to ourselves. If you like the game, if you like the NFT collection, if you like the, maybe consider not jumping over all the fees, because you are cutting into their revenue stream, which is part of what makes things work in the long term of things. So yeah, I'm a little mixed with that, but glad to see it on their own side, so we don't need to visit half sketchy websites to do that if you wanted to. But again, I still recommend you, at least for projects with fees that aren't ridiculous, pay the fee and help the project. But yeah, um, we also, as we have mentioned in the last two episodes, had a really big increase of proof of work conception apps, and also proof of connection apps, along with a whole bunch of DPIN applications, which I'm also really hyped about and hoping to see something more from. And I was also on some of the official Talon spaces asking if anyone of them actually knew why this hype was and what kind of benefits this would be, and nobody really had an answer. But I've not been able to clarify this fully. I wanna understate that, but from the Ton or sorry Telegram and Ton competition side, we have the Ton Society launched a blockchain contest with up to $200,000 for blockchain tasks or blockchain verification and for trustless bridges. And suddenly it shook me that maybe all those proof of work apps we see is actually kind of trying to innovate the newest form of light nodes to benefit the network. And it would make kind of sense, and I would love to see that be true. But again, I haven't. This is my speculation and something that I've been thinking here, so I don't want you to go out and say that is what it is, but that's something that I feel like we are going in that direction. But yeah, I definitely see a lot of wonderful news with that. We also have a brand new version, native version for iOS and Android for the Ton Keeper app, which is the non-custodial, most used non-custodial Ton wallet. And it has now been fully rewrapped with a native update for both devices, and that has increased a lot with up to 6 times better performance, 3 times smaller size in like gigabytes storage on your device, fewer crashes and freezes, and much more smooth animations and stuff when you're changing side and so on in there. So once again, the Ton Keeper team is building for the community and really doing a lot of wonderful stuff. But yeah, I've taken 10 minutes of your time with some news, and I see the room being filled up slowly but nicely. So I want to please everyone go ahead and like and retweet, invite your friends, because the next section here is gonna be something special, a really undermined project in my own opinion that has been out for quite a while in beta alpha stage and just building, and I'm super excited to finally have you guys on stage. So welcome to Globula, and welcome to Mikael for coming up here and wanting to talk to us a little bit about Globula and what you're all about. So please go ahead, introduce yourselves, and what you're, how you came into crypto, and how long you've been here, and what Globula is. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Danish, for inviting us. It's a big pleasure to speak with you, and and you know about the blockchain background. There is a lot of things, a lot of stuff I can speak about. But also here is Marine. It's a co-founder of the Globula, and I'm the founder of the Globula. So this is the main part of the core team. So yeah, you can ask all questions. You can get all answers from the source. About my background in the crypto. It's a long time. I bought my first coffee for the bitcoins in the Parallel Polis in Prague, and It was in 2013, so it was more than 12 years ago, and I was very impressed with the cryptocurrency because there was the first installed ATM in the world. Actually, it was in Prague, and I'm from Czech Republic, and Marie is from Netherlands, but she right now she lives in the Czech Republic also because the core team is concentrated in Czechia. So I was very impressed, and I started to think about how can how I can add a value to this market, how I can create something new in this crypto market. And I started to develop projects from the 2015 actually. So, and also before I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started with basically I developed IT projects, and I have a background around more than 20 projects. 8 from them was successful, and two exits, around $1 million. So, and also when I started the crypto, I started with the mining actually. And it was a little time I started to mine Litecoin after the Bitcoin, and but basically in primary I mined Ethereum, and it was time like the Ethereum price was around $1, between $1 and $2. So there was a lot of mining station. I rent at that time. I rent a very big castle, and I had all castle of the mining stations. And in the winter it was very, very hot, like in Africa somewhere, you know. So it was a maximum. Yeah, and after that I start to trade. I'm a very successful trader. Actually, it's strange, but it's true. And with this, during this my crypto journey, I also started my first project in the crypto, and I started to develop automated market makers from the first dexes like OpenLedger. And simultaneously I started with developing of the algorithmic super stable coin Kronos. It was very interesting project because we pegged this cryptocurrency to the human time, and I got a lot of experience in this. We also did an ICO in 2017, and a lot of stuff. We have investors, we had users, but basically this cryptocurrency in this time I started, there was no Ethereum at all. You know, there was no USDT and such of stuff. So starts to develop super stable coin was a nonsense. It was crazy idea, absolutely, and not in the right time, in the right place. But this super stable coin has been developed for we did it. It's work. It's the blockchain. It was built from the scratch. We took to the core some parts and mechanics from the Monero and Ripple and the Bitcoin hash mechanisms from the Bitcoin. There was 8, and basically it was started for this coin has been developed for the gamers, for gaming. Because on the market was no coins on smart contracts and such stuff at all, and we needed the solution how to how to create dynamic NFTs. Today, everyone knows what is NFT, but I will repeat, there was not Ethereum virtual machine at all. So this is how my journey started. But basically, we prepared the blockchain we developed for the Globula project. So this is a main project. I'm working on it and develop the ideas and mechanics during the 10 years. So it's a very long-term project, and we are actually, after the 10 years of the work and concept development and economic development, unit economics, etc., we are actually at the start. But the Globula right now is live. It's currently in a pre-alpha. It's available to test, to download, to play. You can play it. You can download from the website, and you can play also a pre-game, something like a preparation, onboarding for the main game in a Telegram right now. So we developed also. We used Telegram mechanics and blockchain to engage people through this. So this some words about me.
Amazing. That's definitely a long time in crypto for sure, and it's nice to have somebody that has a bit of history and a bit of knowledge about the long term of cryptocurrency, not just like I started, like not me, but somebody that started like 6 months ago and think they know all about how the blockchain space works. I've personally been in around the same time as yourself, 13 years ish, which definitely makes like a lot more like consideration about how and where to do things. But let's keep it a little bit about Globula. But for first, I also of course want to hear a little bit from our other speaker. Been so so silent so far, Maria. You welcome. You've been throwing up all your emojis and stuff. Can you tell a little bit about yourself and your trip into crypto?
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Marie. Well, Michael did introduce me already. I'm a co-founder of Globula. Oh, my crypto trip! It actually started with Tom. I'm not that old in crypto as a user. Of course, I know much about it, but I have like a lifelong devotion and experience with gaming from every possible range you can imagine. So I've been in cybersports. I've been a co-founder of Federation of Cybersport. I managed the team. Then I ventured into world of MMORPGs. I've been every possible role from game master, and I mean being part of the big development company that was for CCP Games, if anyone is interested, for EVE Online. And then back to being a gamer myself. I was leading a lot of big communities. I really always like to work with community. And currently I'm trying to bring that experience into Globula, because Globula, after all, is not just crypto project, or better to say, it's everything. It's building a bridge between, the bridge we're missing is so badly now, between the huge gaming industry, and I'm not talking about GameFi, it's a different story, but gaming industry and blockchain. So GameFi and crypto, that's not the same, quite the same as gaming versus blockchain. And what we're doing with Globula, we're trying to build an actual MMORPG on a blockchain. But it's beyond that. It actually have its own, I would say, social fi project coming in, because eventually my favorite target from Globula is to be able to provide people with additional income. And what we see currently with our world and where it's going to, it is a huge problem for many countries, many places. There's shortage of job positions, there's shortage of things to do, there's shortage of entertainment, and why not to bring it all together? Now, of course, with the gaming, what I mean is that most of us, of course, at some point did play games. And if we speak of mobile games, of course, the most successful games is like Pokemon Go or already mentioned Ingress, right? It's a huge amount of users. It's so many people, and we yet to see these people touching even a little bit of blockchain as users. I'm not talking about using it for games, but using it in daily life or even having an interest in it, right? And why? Because so far the adoption of this technology was really hard. Now we see it, especially with on Telegram, that it's getting more close to something more optimal. But in ideal situation, in our ideal world, of course, we want the complete blockchain abstraction. We want for user to be able to do all the same as he used to, without even much knowing that he's communicating with the blockchain, right? I mean, that's that's awesome.
Sure,
That's
players just want to play a game, enjoy it, and having emotions about that. They are not so much interested in blockchain at all. You know, a lot of projects also in the tone right now trying to engage people to the DeFi, to stake tokens, for the liquidity providing and etc. But people just need the simple things. They have a needings. They have they need emotions. They need adventure. They need to communicate with other people, to meet somebody new. They need to have new experiences, and needings are important. In the games you can create a lot of things to deliver this. And basically, I didn't speak about my gaming experience because it wasn't very interesting. We meet each other with the Marine 20 years ago in the MMORPG game, so-called Entropia Universe. Yeah, I don't know if somebody knows this project. Yeah. And 20 years ago, I remember very well, I had 3 businesses in ICT at the same time, and also one of them was a cyber fight club for the gamers. So we conducted a lot of cyber fighting around the world. So we prepared the teams in Counter-Strike, like a Half-Life and this kind of games we played. And I also found a very interesting game, the Entropia Universe, and it was a very special game. I was interested by that they implemented the new monetization model in this game, so-called real cash economy. And it means what
isn't that the longest living in-game economic system, the world empire?
Yeah, it was year 213, and there was 2 games in the same year. I think in the same month, maybe Second Life and the Entropia Universe. And the model they implemented in that time is real cash economy. What does it mean? What is real cash economy? It means that you can put your money, real money, inside the game. You can you can convert it to the project Entropia dollars, and you can use this currency in the game. You can gain it or lose it. But after all iterations, you can withdraw your money to your bank account. That was important. That was a revolution. Nobody else in the gaming sector didn't mechanics like that. And I started to play this game. I spent 3 years of my life in this game to learn how it's working. What are these mechanics? And after the short time, basically the entropy universe give me more profit. They're all my three businesses simultaneously at the same time, and also I started to earn in the game, and the earning was great actually. So basically, in that time, the things, the stuff in this game cost about, like, you can there is a guns with the price around 70 dollars, or you can pay for the first 8 three 30K, and nobody sell this stuff to you because it's very special things. And there was a lot of players who own in inventory several millions dollars inside. So it was really something new on the market, and I appreciate the creators of this game because I have learned a lot of the macroeconomy actually through this game, and I found a lot of friends in these games, and Marine is one of them. We have 2 core members actually from these games. They are Uber players and for the entropy universe, and I started to think how we can gain this model in the today's world. Because there was some weak parts of the real cash economy model. So actually the Globula is a project where the real cash economy is extrapolated actually. So we found a way how to do it much better and much sustainable than entropy universe. But really, honestly, the most sustainable game on the market, most sustainable model is the real cash economy currently, because it's proved during the more than 20 years, 22, and it's still working. The stuff from this game
it's definitely
have
you
much
you
better
lost me there.
price. Yeah. So this is. Do you remember the year 2021 where everybody speak about the sustainable models and NFTs and gaming, metaverses, and these hypes like keywords like metaverse and sustainable models? Nobody didn't brought any sustainable model for this market at all to this day.
I have an idea
And
why. I actually do have an idea why. It is very hard to make such a system if you don't have users yet. So, what I've seen last year, and it's a sad example, I wish it would be better actually. It's a project from my beloved CCP games, who received, if I'm not mistaken, 42 million fund from A16Z to make a crypto game.
exactly.
And unfortunately, they failed. Game is not interesting, and what they tried to make with it is something like a sustainable economical model. But it is very hard to develop such a game with having no live users with you, because you have no idea how it will work, how they will react on it, and all the EVE Online people who already very very invested in online, right? They wanted to try a new game for CCP games, and they just didn't come. Only 700 people applied for alpha, and for such a scale, and for such funding, and it's a top of our industries met each other, right? I mean, the crypto industry, A16Z, what can be bigger, right? And CCP games. I mean, how could they fail? No, this is how. Because they closed themselves up in walls and they didn't listen to users. They didn't try to work with the community. They didn't try to invite, on one hand, crypto people who is interested not in playing the game but in investing in the gaming assets, mostly, right? NFTs, token, and so on. And then on the other hand, they didn't listen gamers because it was too hard, too complicated, and not interesting most people. So what we're doing with Globula, as you can see it now, of course, in our chat, is that we're doing it to begin with the community. We're testing it on real gamers and on real crypto people to see how interesting it is. So we invite.
Yeah, just to remind, it's a pre-alpha. It's very early stage of the project. You can join it. It's open right now. Yeah. So we test the hypothesis and implement the technologies, but basically we don't want to relate only on the blockchain. As Marine said, we are blockchain agnostic and we are for the blockchain abstraction, because we don't want to bother people with the connection of the wallets. No, maybe one time through the quest, but after that they don't want to be engaged in the DeFi things and stuff. Is in a backstage of the project, and Globula actually is with a very extended backstage part, because not everyone needs crypto and blockchain. Everybody trying to merge a blockchain with everything, like absolutely everything. They think that it's some kind of magic how to make money, but it's not true actually. Not much games need the blockchain technology. And in this project, in Globula, we use it to realize, to create the specific mechanics, because without the blockchain, it was not possible to create economics and mechanics such this. Currently, in a pre-alpha, we can't feel it, but in the near future, during the development, I think it will be very interesting, because Globula is so-called, it's not only geolocation based game, but it's also positive sum game. And this part, for me personally and for the core team, of course, is very interesting, because basically in our team we have a lot of experience in big companies such as Samsung. We have guys from the Wargaming and Epic Games, Next Epic, from the Marine also didn't said that she is a creator of the most influent and biggest guild in the history of the Lineage 2. And all this experience from the massive online games merge us together to create something absolutely new. And positive sum game is a very interesting chapter in a gaming history from the my point of view. And if you know some theoretical part from the game of the theory and the economical behavior from the book The Joint von Neumann, basically this book, this scientific work divides all games, not only computer games, but all games we playing like a humankind, to the three parts. Basically, there are three kinds of games. There is games with the negative sum economy, neutral or zero-sum games, and positive sum games. What does it mean? It means that, for example, everybody plays poker or know this game, how to play it. Just imagine that you are going to the casino to play a poker. So you are going to casino, you buy chips, you're going to table and you play with other people, and every flop or every winning, the casino charges 5% fee. This is a classic example of the negative sum games. It means that all participants lose money because the sum of all losses and wins are less than zero. So this is the kind of the negative sum games. It's a casino, and everybody behind the table are losers, like in a sum. Second example, if you play this game, same game, poker, with your friends in your kitchen, this is the game with the zero-sum conclusion, because there is no casino, there is no fees, and the sum of all wins and all losses are zero. And basically, in the gaming market, there is games such as negative sum or zero sum. And the John von Neumann described the positive sum games like he wrote about the examples how to find a solution for the cancer, for example. It is a classic example in the gaming theory that the process of the finding the solution of cancer is when we, like humankind, we invest money, we invest time, we spend a lot of research of development to this, but when we will find a solution, everyone will get a profit from this solution. And this is the type of the positive sum game. And interesting thing is that it's possible also to realize, and did it in a global gaming market, for example. And I actually found that there is I trying to find a game with the positive sum economy, and I didn't find anything, and that was strange.
Well, that's due to it's very attractive to use already working strategies, especially for marketing and monetization. It is very hard to begin from scratch. Try to find out something your own. Once you found it and it's successful, everyone will follow, everyone will copy. But if you are on that path to find a new way to monetize your game, a new way to let people to interact with each other financially, right? Then you hit the golden spot. And this is, by the way, I still believe that was the reason why eventually the judges for the Dawn Bootcamp for Open League Hackathon gave us the winning place. They ask us very simple question like, so what is the blockchain part of your game? Like, what can you bring to Dawn? And once we said that everyone who plays has to have a wallet, that was the winning answer. Because you see, any blockchain, what they need is users, transactions, the people finding some kind of a meaning to use this technology. Otherwise, it's pointless, right? absolutely pointless. And for us, it is a big way to bring to our users, first of all, legal security, second, an absolute ownership, which many people forget about. We are here, Web3, right? The Web3, everyone is like, oh, the Web3, and nobody says that the main essence of it is an ownership. You are owning your own assets, no matter what you do, where you do it. If you play Globula and if you mint some object, it's yours. We cannot take it from you. We cannot ban your account and stop you, close your financial operations from it. And that's we have to develop, right? We have to own that path and develop such a game where this is possible.
It's possible to build from the scratch. Yeah, it's the only way.
Us as developers.
There is definitely a lot of things with some of the things you've talked about here that can be like easily measured with things that is happening right now. Anyone knows the massive tapper Simpsons Tapped Out? It is closing down after I think it's 12 years of being an app on the App Store, and that game has no. It has only a drain system. People can put money in to buy their donuts and upgrades, but so many people have played that game for so long now, and it's shutting down. And had that just been some part of blockchain connected, so they've gotten some ownership, even if they shut down, they own their assets, which could be implemented in the metaverse system that we all initially wanted in this gaming space, but many of them aren't. Like a funny story about my own journey to NFTs was because of Ingress. I was a huge player in Ingress. I'm the one in Denmark that's made the biggest field ever. I covered the United Kingdom from Denmark with a field from Denmark with operation with other people, but yeah, but I covered it, and like I played a lot with community, and we had like in Ingress there is some medals in the game you get by cards when you meet in events, or you buy packs and you get some codes, and those codes gives you like SBTs, like tokens, like attendant symbols that you were at this event, But eventually the community started making their own cards, because I showed up to 100 different events in Denmark a week, a month, a year. So I had my own cards. So when I met new people, I could give them my card. It couldn't be redeemed in game, but they had a collection of my own, and suddenly they had my collection. I have a whole book, like people collect Pokemon cards. I have a whole book of Ingress players from around the world, like real people I have met, traded with, and stuff like that. I have their personal stories on Ingress cards, and I started thinking, why can't we do this like digital? And it was of course the same bullshit problem there is always on digital. Anything we can just copy and paste it, right? I posted on Twitter, you can just copy and paste it, and now you send it on Telegram and you have my picture. But with NFTs we could do something, so I started a whole journey and tried to get the get the Ingress community Niantic to implement NFT trading for their assets, for their metals, and so on. And it never happened. And yeah, and I've been searching for over 10 years for a game that could do this as Ingress, because I had my old car decorated with Ingress stickers. I was the Danish Hitchgrot, and we had like my car was decorated with stickers from Ingress, and like when I drove into a place, people knew immediately which team it was, who was there, and it was a whole like, people come up to you and like, oh, we saw that you were a part of this, and it was a whole community-based thing. And I really thought, and I still think that Globula, for my perspective, had some like real nice aspects of this, and I want to dive more into like the whole game of Globula, because we've talked a lot about you guys, which is really interesting. I loved that there is so much of gaming background combined with blockchain background to try to combine this to an actual working thing. But of course, we need community, because without community, it's hard. But like the Ingress and Pokemon Go community would be like unique for like to go to Pokemon Go or Ingress events and showcase Globula for the community. Like go to some of the local events or smaller events, not necessarily the Ingress yearly events that might be a little unprofessional. But like I want to really hear like about the game dynamics of Globula, because it's a geo-based game. I can go around, I open the game, I get some items that I can do some things with. Like for everyone out there, because I've been playing this game for over a year now, I think, since the first alpha.
Oh wow.
I've been playing for a while. I have 2 of the first NFTs you dropped, which I remember there was some mentioning about that, like when the game eventually comes out, like as a launch, like not a beta, early alpha, some NFT holders would be the ones to like those O connector, whatever they're called, is the ticket into the game, which I really like thought could be really a valuable asset, because you make them in game. But can we start like for like totally new people to this game? Like you start the game, not the Telegram mini game. We can go into that afterwards. But the game, you start the game. What do you do? What do you get? Where are we?
Okay, so Michael, you or me? Gonna go with this one.
You can go.
All right. So, okay, for now, as Michael said, it's in pre-alpha. So what we're doing, we're testing that everything is technically works, like connection with the blockchain, our geolocation engine, which is our own developed engine. We are non-dependent on Google or anyone else. So even if world collapses, Global still stays, basically. What I mean with that is that we're not country restricted or anything alike, and also we are not dependent of some service alike. Google decides to cut us off or make us pay for something absolutely unnecessary, right? So we're busy testing that, busy calibrating it. Recently we moved into cloud servers, which was a very nasty situation because some issues with database, but we're solving technical issues and preparing game to expand with more game mechanics. Now that will be a full alpha where people can actually experience all the mechanics. And what you can do now as a new user, unfortunately, you can only begin collect temporal energy, which is the main source of energy in game. Whatever you do in game requires that energy, and you're collecting it by walking, just by slowly walking. And then you can of course hunt some globules and get some loot from them and craft some items. All of these items is very soon, if I'm not mistaken, several weeks ahead from it, will be mintable. which means you can mint every object in the game as an NFT and trade it, sell it, do whatever you want with it. It's yours. So then will be implemented follow-up game mechanics. Globulas will start attacking players and so on and so on, right? But before implementing it fully, which we have huge plans on, we have to make sure that everything technically works great. Now about the zero connector or all connector, whoever likes what. This is indeed, this is the genesis, so it's called NFT from Globula. It's a very special item because indeed we were planning to make people enter Globula as a game, not as a Telegram mini game, but as a game, only with those keys. And that was half a year ago. And unfortunately, we were ready for it, but the Dawn blockchain, funny to say, was not ready for it. And what do I mean by that? It was very, very badly dealing with parsing NFTs and even parsing connection and wallets. We were dealing with issues from our users every day that they cannot log into the game with their wallets. And initially, what we had is only wallet login. Users do not use emails, old systems, full crypto anarchy style, wallet only, right? So, but the Dawn blockchain, it was horrible, guys. It was seriously horrible. Now every day the chat in the morning.
Yeah, just to connect your wallet.
Yes.
Everybody, every project in this time experiences these issues.
Yeah, Dawn Connect was falling down, but now it is solved. Now we can get back to perhaps thinking how to get back this function. But first we need to make sure that people can craft them actually, because what we wanted is just like in a sense like in grass, so that people invite people. It is very important for us that it is a craftable item. The Genesis collection narratively was meant as some kind of a box forgotten by some mad scientist somewhere. Somebody found it, and this is how we got the first keys, right? So it's very nice. It's a very nice aspect of it. I'm very happy with Dawn lately, I must say, for that matter, because everything they promised, they delivered, and even geolocation for mini apps, which we're also plotting about to make Globula launchable through Telegram. This is not soon. There's a lot of obstacles, a lot of technical problems, yes, but it is very cool. Needless to say, actually, there is not even navigation in Telegram right now. Aside, of course, share location, which is a little bit different than having a full navigator. But yeah, I think it will work. I'm very excited about it. And then, of course, we will start
can I just tap in a little bit, because there is a little bit of room aesthetics in your room, so I'm just wanna fastly time in with some things from a user perspective here. So you launch the game and you look at a world from where you are geolocation wise. Like, I can see my block, I can see a little, like, a couple of streets. I have some, like, 2 boxes where when I click on one of them, it gives me some weapons, and I can choose some tools. And in the beginning, I have 3 weapons, and like a short range, a mid range, and a long range weapon. And I have like a collector, which is the one that you put on to gain the energy. And this second box, you have batteries that capture that energy. and you need to use those batteries to use the guns. And eventually, when you're shut down some flying like energy fields. And I really like with your game though that you are not using the standard portals like Ingress and those have been doing now for so long time, because that means that all the stuff will be the same place all the time, which is kind of boring. Also, sometimes it could be nice for some things, but it's kind of boring when it's always the same places. I like to explore, but then you go out and shoot those things down. At sometimes you get minerals and other things back from that. Eventually, you have enough stuff to make your first blueprint, and with that blueprint, you get a scanner, and this scanner you equipped instead of the energy collector when you get close to those energy fields there are before you shoot them down, and then you scan them, and sometimes you get blueprints and stuff out of doing that, which can then be made when you get enough of other minerals in the game. Am I like kind of spot on that, or?
Yes.
Yeah, Danish. I'm an early adopter of the Google Ingress. It's Google, not only Niantic Labs. So I started with Ingress from the beta version. It was with invites, very close to beta version, very early. And that time I feel that there is so potential things that they can implement, and it was a pity that they didn't implemented actually nothing. They stay with the same mechanics actually. And during the next years, nothing didn't change, but the potential was great. It's to merge our reality with the virtual reality was incredible. So as you mentioned, you talk about the fields, like energy fields. It's not the fields. It's creatures, because behind the Globula there is a narrative story that this is actually not a game, it's experiment where some concrete scientists from Czech Republic explore during the experiments in a high frequency field of our world some strange creatures, something like bacteria or jellyfishes. We didn't invent the microscope before to find out that the bacteria exists, and he did that. He created technology where he explored the new kind of real living beings in a high frequency sphere of our planet, and he tried to understand what is it, and he did this project like open project for everyone to explore this world, because there is not only creatures, but there is also a new kind of resources and new kind of structures we didn't even see before without this technology. So Globula game, it's a scanner of the parallel dimension where your mobile phone can interact through the 0 point through your Wi-Fi antennas, create the 0 point to this point you can interact this parallel dimension, and you can do basic things in this world. You can hunt these creatures, you can explore these creatures, you can scan them and get the blueprints from them. You can also scan the resources So you have miners. You can find several kinds of resources in the place you're living in. So there is locations, special locations in your town, for example. And after that, you get the components from the creators. You get the resources from scanning and mining, and you can put them together and create something new kind of stuff, new guns, new weapons, new armors, new aids to new geolocation. You can build geolocation models also, and you can trade all this stuff. The users can trade all the stuff between each other, peer to peer. And also we are very interested to integrate the content builder. Yeah, maybe it's similar like in Ingress, but it's more by the Ingress, much more, because we see a very big opportunity in emerging our everyday reality with the virtual reality but that way that we want to offer. It's also in development of this stuff. We want to implement the geolocation quest constructor no-code builder, where everyone can create their own quest in the town you love and living in. It's something like a Lego language. Lego bricks. You can put the logic with these bricks and build very complicated quests in the town. You can monetize it because there is a lot of opportunity related with the traffic of the real people, not like in internet, but in real people. They're walking around and they will come to your restaurant or a hotel or some concrete place on Earth, and at least the people need something to drink, to eat, somewhere to sleep, etc. So this is a very interesting constructor we are preparing to implement, and we actually planned to implement it for the game itself. But after the development and brainstorming, we understood that this constructor can can Uberize and gamify not only this game, but everything, like a work, sport, leisure, everyday routine, and job contracts also can be Uberized and gamified. So you can, there is a great possibility from the long-term perspective how to gamify and Uberize our everyday doing and living. So this is the main part we are going from the long-term perspective. So we would like to test it in the Globula game, and maybe in the future create a separate product like a parallel dimension to gamify the basic human things in the real world, because today people are so much atomized between each other, and they are they're lonely basically. They need adventure, something new. They need to explore, to feel new scenarios, new emotions. This is important. They need to communicate and meet new real people in a real life, in the same place. And this is the instrument how we can achieve this, how we can put people outside the shell and create absolutely new kind of content in our reality.
It definitely has a lot of possibility and opportunity, I think, and if done right, there are so many things that Globula could tap into, and especially if you've been an Ingress player, as you said, you probably have been thinking. It seems like the exact same thing that I was thinking when I stopped, and I was playing Ingress heavily up until a little bit after Pokemon Go came out, and they kind of ruined the game because that all the Pokemon Go players needed to come into Ingress to submit gyms, and they fucked up all the real geolocations that Ingress players had spent years of putting in, like real nice geolocations that meant something, moral stones or statues or whatever it was, and suddenly it became your mailbox and stuff because people wanted gyms next door. So like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. What are you talking about? Yeah.
that was when I stopped, and I still miss it. I miss it today. I still sometimes log in and check it, and I see they've gone back from their new updated design, kind of scaled it back to the old, but I'm afraid it's too late for them because they were too long listening to the community and trying to take that. So I'm like pretty hopeful that with something like Globula and stuff, we have another chance of bringing that to the community, because you have all the main features already that for me made Ingress really unique. There is a chat box inside of Globula that allows destination chat, so you can talk with people in the game with a radius of X amount of kilometers, and that really, when the game gonna come out to a little bit more people and have a iOS and Android stable version, it's probably gonna lead to a lot more of that community startup building, which, because that, like, when I played again Ingress, I like suddenly, because you could see somebody did something near you, I got messages from Ingress players that saw that I was just joining, that saw that I took some portals, like right after the tutorial ended. Suddenly the enlightened players was already, that's one of the teams for the people that are resistant and enlightened in Ingress, but the whole story narrative is also a wonderful thing that I really wanna go into with Globula.
The narrative is very important for sure, because it's merged everything together. Why it's happening here? Why am I here? Why am I playing this?
Yeah, and for me it was a really, a whole other gaming experience, because I've played 1,000 games when you get shit talk and chat and blah 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 from somebody, or you get a NPC that talks to you or something. I just finished the tutorial in Ingress, and a real person messaged me and welcomes me to the team and says, "Oh, so you were out in this town? Like I'm often swinging by. You want me to swing by and teach you some stuff?" And I said, like, I was like, "Wait, what? No, like, I'm not gonna meet some weirdo from a game, like." But suddenly, like, okay, I see that I need people in this game, and it's like a team game, so maybe I should try to meet some people. And then, like, I chatted with some, and oh yeah, they know him, and oh yeah, okay. And I met people, and I started going to events, and suddenly I became one of the most active Ingress players in Denmark. And that whole like going to community events, meeting people, like having fun, all that, bringing that to Globula with the allowing of actually owning their content, like, but just the game experience already without any blockchain, it's already good. There is bugs, we are early, you've mentioned that 100 times, and it takes time to build something good. And especially, like, we also heard that you not relying on a Google whatever engine, you've taken some data and doing this yourself, so you're not restricted, and all that takes even longer. Like like OpenStreetMap is a good alternative, but if you're not even using that, but maybe using like a ground layer of that and then building your own upon it, like all of that takes time, and then building a good game, and your mechanics are good. They're getting better and better for every update. Um,
Thank
Again,
you, thank you very much.
and that's I again been playing since you started selling the zero connectors. I found it when you did that, and immediately saw, oh, this is Ingress-ish game, and I was in. I've been playing, not heavily, but I've been playing enough that I have currently, like, I think 4 or 5 million uh, like tokens, and I have 10 NFTs already minted, and um, yeah, I have made the first blueprint of the explore thingy. I get more blueprints from, but now I have so many blueprints that I just need materials, and I need way more materials.
There will be much more in the near time. We are currently preparing the new update when the globulas, so-called globulas, it's these creatures will start to respond to your attacks, and they will attack you. So you need to protect yourself. You need some new stuff, and be prepared for the new blueprints you need to craft. So all this loot, all components in the game will be utilized for the new kind of devices, and there will be a lot of devices. In the near future, there will be some devices, and several months there will be more devices, and after the year, there will be a huge scale of devices, because we need to implement also the basic core mechanics. They were not implemented at all. We just implemented, particularly, we implemented the crafting and hunting and a half, because now we will enhance the hunting, and after that we will prepare new one of the core mechanics. It is a mining, where you can start explore your city to find out what kind of resources is near your place. And after this, we implement all 4 basic core mechanics, we can start to create more complicated, more interesting, more engaged game mechanics. And what is strange, we started the pre-alpha, and currently if we see our metrics, we see our KPIs, and we have very high engaged people in this game currently. It's like record-breaking stuff, because, for example, retention of the 220 days is more than 15%. So if somebody start to play the Globula, the 15% of people stay to play this game at minimal for the next more than 100 days. So this is very exciting for us. We didn't expect a success like that, because we didn't actually implement the basic core mechanics for the game. So we are feeling like we are in the right way, and we are doing the right thing, and we communicate with our community a lot. They help us. They help us with the bugs. They bring new ideas to this project, and we don't want to make the same mistakes like Ingress did, because during the first 5 or 6 years they absolutely didn't reflect what's going on with the community. They didn't have a community, they didn't have a channels there where somebody can express the opinion about the game and the project. And it's very it's a pity they didn't that. So they get lost. They just sell the engine. They put it together with the Nintendo or with and the engine of the Ingress was is a engine for the Pokemon Go we know. So it's so much commercial story, and it's a story about the negative sum game, economic negative sum game, where the people are drained economically and they drain the time they spent in this game. I think that there is more possibilities in this field, and actually what are we working for, and we know how to implement it, to create the system where the people can convert their gaming time into the real money. So they didn't only spend time good, they didn't only have adventures and emotions, and they didn't only play the game and enjoy it, but they also can monetize every day everything they do in this game, because in the Globula, as we planned, and it's calculated and well modeled very much. It's a place where the all sum of all losers and all wins are more than zero. And this is the important, this is the growing thing. This is the growing organism where you can convert your time into real well-being of your real life. This is the big target, and I think that right now it's possible in this game. Right now you can start to earn in this game if you play right. We are not draining the users, but the users can create a value, and we give to this game more value than we can extract from this game from the start, from the pre-alpha. And this is the way I think we can develop the system, the new kind of games, the positive sum games like this. So this is the new kind of experiment, how to create the game we would like to play where we was young, because we are all our core team, the great and big players. We play games a lot. We develop the games a lot. The team was developed games with more than 100 million downloads only in mobile sector, like a separate members. So there is experience, but currently we are doing something it's not ordinary project. It's not understandable project. It's not like 1, 2, 3 and here is a revenue, here is the users, and hooray, profit. It's that's why we spend so much time. We do a lot of experiments, so it costs time and money. So, and basically we
again I really like it. I joined when you did your first NFTs, and been playing ever since. And again, it has taken time, and as I said, the game has only been better over time, and more things has been added since I started. First of all, like we said, it was first only blockchain. Now you have other login measures if you want to, but mainly blockchain. And you also launched a Telegram mini app, which I just pinned in the Jumbotron above. But also, like, we just for this event here, we have SBT for this event. I also pinned in the Jumbotron above and in the comment section below. And I just want to say that you guys have around an hour more to grab this SBT, and the code is globula.space, the same as the website. So go grab that SBT while you can, and like SBTs on Ton is soulbound tokens, participating trophies, exactly like we've been mentioning in like the about the Ingress game that we missed, which is something that the blockchain gives us, which is also something that when you load the Telegram mini app for Globula, it actually says that there will be some SBTs for participating there. But can we talk a little bit about what is the mini app about? Because now the Globula game is geolocation based. It uses a little more battery. It uses your GPS. You need to walk around to do anything. But you also have a mini game, and the mini game is much more simple. So how do that bear a role? And before you answer that, I want to invite people up on stage to ask their questions to you guys. If anyone wants to, please request the microphone, and you will be allowed up here shortly. Please go ahead with the mini app.
Yeah, sure. I will. Yeah, I can answer every question, so you can asking from the public for sure. Regarding the TMA answer, it is a pre-game for the main game, and the reason we didn't implement the main game, the main target was to explore the Telegram like marketplace and move the basic game. It is developed in Unity. It's something around 90 megabytes to the Telegram. It's currently impossible right now because it's too huge to run so huge applications in the surroundings of the Telegram right now. But we get a very interesting experience how to do it. And if you saw our roadmap in the Telegram mini app, the definite and the last point is implementation of the full game in the Telegram. So we are prepared to implement it, but we are expecting the more precise technical solutions from the Telegram team. And also we believe that Ton like ecosystem will not it's a greenie right now. It's crude from my point of view, but we believe it will develop to something more dynamic, more abstracted. But currently we are orientated to the EVM, Ethereum virtual machine, because, as I said, we are oriented we are oriented to the blockchain abstraction, so-called, and blockchain agnosticism, where you are not limited to the blockchain at all, and you don't feel that you are using blockchain right now. This is very important for the slight gaming experience. This is very important because if it works in a way like that, we can onboard much more gamers, much more people who didn't even play the games at all. So TMA is a preparation part. So we created the Telegram mini app to onboard the people to use the traffic from the Telegram, where you can collect the temporal energy from the start. And interesting part, you can buy and sell it peer-to-peer between each other from the start. Not like other projects that you mine something or get something and maybe, or click something and maybe coming soon something, we will prepare some solution, we don't know what, but something will be for sure. No, it's not our case. We know very well what is temporal energy units you collecting in the Telegram mini apps, and you can create the anomaly inside this Telegram mini app, and you can open it and develop it and open. And after that, you receive 10 NFTs, and you can mint it right now. You can trade with this NFTs, and they are absolutely utility NFTs. they will be used, and right now we are using part of them in the production, in the crafting, in the main game, and will be much more in the near future when this all NFTs will be used in the main game. For example, currently you can create the tardigrade harvester. It's a very prime tool, but you understand how expensive it will be in the future. You will see in the future. Right now, it's not understandable, but people trying to put the components together and to receive this superstar item. Yeah, and so this is our basic event right now, but there will be much more of that stuff, because right now, as I said, we're preparing the attacks of the globulas. So you need to protect yourself, you need to heal up your heal points, and there will much more blueprints and tools. And if you want to craft these things, you need to get the components for the crafting, and the crafting components are actually in the TMA particularly, and in the game itself. So, and also TMA is there is a task and quests are onboarding part, how to connect the wallets, actually, how to merge, how to interconnect your TMA, the main game, there is a quest to craft something in the game, etc. And also the quest line in the TMA will be expanded soon.
And I see you have squads coming. When can I get DCH Community Squad up and running? That is a necessity.
Yeah.
Yes. Me too.
Oh, come on. Me too. You don't know. Yeah, we don't know. Actually, we don't know, because we are currently working on the new mechanics in the basic game, and the next level we expect is the hunting and adjusted hunting feature. And the next one is the feature of the minting of all stuff in the main game to the blockchain, because right now you can mint everything from the TMA, but you can't use it. You can't mint stuff from the main game. But we implemented the feature that if you have something in TMA, you can transfer it right now in the main game. So it is a very cool feature. And the next feature for the blockchain part will be that you can mint everything you craft, everything you create from the main game. And we expect very interesting trading volume and more engaged people, because we have also collection on Get Gems, and I think it will be notable also for people who are interested in NFT trading parts and investment. So after that we will start to implement the squads. So there is there's a concrete part how it will be implemented. It will be nothing much new in the industry, but yeah. So squads line after that. So this is our pipeline roadmap.
Amazing.
So we have two roadmaps actually. We have two products, and they at the end they will merge together in the same one.
I can't wait to see where it brings. But I see we had Solid up here. So Solid, do you got some solid questions for the Globula team?
Hey guys. Sorry, still a sound problem. You hear me correctly? Excellent. First, kudos to Mary and Mikhail for all the work. It's awesome and mind blowing. The path and the enrichment. I mean, community wise and for the ton ecosystem too. The fact that Globula is now live and accessible to more people than the Cabal one, like Danish, who are in the really in the core of many processes. I have two questions related more not directly to the game, but rather to the environment or like the background you are moving into. The first one is regarding the use of Google services. Danish knows that, and he's on the same line as we are from Solid. The fact that we prefer to use, of course, privacy focused or oriented applications. And we know that I would say 90% or 95% of apps use Google Play services. I've heard you freed yourself from a part of the Google infrastructure for people using Android, but does it go to the point where we can use, for instance, graphene or unplugged, those OS that really use Android as it was meant to be, like a Linux open source OS, and without triggering the Google Play services. For some of us, it's really an important point. And the other one is maybe even harder, as you're based apparently in the EU. How do you manage that part? Where, as far as we know, the EU is becoming the most hostile crypto place, hostile to crypto, with the famous MiCA framework, which is horrible, and they want to go further even. So before the EU explodes, which I think will take place in coming years, how do you manage, for instance, is it possible to directly, I would say, withdraw any gain from the game to the blockchain without KYCing? That kind of thing. It would be great to have information about it. Thanks, and kudos for the work.
Nice. So I heard several questions in a row. Okay, I will try to explain. Regarding the Google Play part, we are not in Google Play currently, but it's in a plan to be there. But it's not so important. It's one of the marketplaces for sure. And we basically from the start, from the scratch, we didn't want to use all this corporative infrastructure at all. That's why, as Marine said, we have absolutely independent geolocation maps engine. We have own cartographic service. We are independent from the Google Maps or OpenStreetMaps at all. We have own service written up from the scratch, and this is the way we want to develop the product. We would like to be absolutely independent from this corporative so much regulated part, because if, for example, there is a market, Russian market, for example, where the Google Maps was prohibited, and ingress players can't play the ingress in the Russia at all. So this is the very interesting part, how it can be. In your country, the Google Maps can be prohibited, and you can use the services at all. So right now, that's why a lot of people from the ingress community from the Russia, they go to the Globula, because it's the only GPS game is working currently in the Russian territory. So this is regarding the services. So we would like to be independent on this way. And also we are looking for the deep-in technologies, how to our all infrastructure distribution of the content will be halfly or fully decentralized. Yeah, you can you can add something, Marine.
Oh, yeah, sorry for the slight interruption. I wanted specifically to point out that another problem with big corporative services is that they gather user data, and this is something we're absolutely against. We do not wish to gather user data, and our the structure of our how the whole product is assembled basically it looks like a game, right? And for the game, there's special regulations. So I can slowly move to the Mika part and explain how we plotting actually to make all that part work also, including in Euro territory. So we have actually an amazing advisor for this part. He's have enormous expertise in legal making crypto games working in Euro Union. His name is Morton. I worked on a lot of other projects. He's advising us on how to build it correctly and what legal structure we need to pass Mika actually without forcing our users to go through KYC. Because another thing is what we are strongly against this KYC. So what we're gonna do with Globula, we're gonna as much as possible and ideally 100% possible delegate all that part to someone else. And it is up to user whether he wants to use a wallet, say that requires KYC or a private wallet. The responsibility is on user, and it can be done. Believe it or not, it can be done in the Mika sector, but you need a good legal structure for that. And this is what our next year is going to be devoted to, and hopefully very.
Yeah, that's a legal part actually. Yeah, and we, KYC is very important when you input the fiat money into the blockchain or black box, so-called, or the centralized exchange. They need on an input. They need to check who own this money, who do this transaction, and they also can check the output from this black box. So QAC is used for that, and also you can use a chain analysis to understand how money are flowing between the addresses. It's not our part. We will not work with the plastic cards or payment gateways like that. We are not interested at all how the people buy their crypto, USDT or Tor or something. They can input. They can buy they will buy our token on the CEXes or DEXs. And it's we didn't care about that because this is a responsibility of the centralized exchange to make a KYC and be MiCA compliant in this way. So yeah. So we are thinking in this way, and of course the situation is developing every day, and we need to adjust the legal part and have companies Hydra to be compliant with all these changes in this world.
Amazing. I'm definitely happy to hear that, and I think that's a really good and important question. How do you guys handle private data? Because a geolocation-based game could gather a lot of data. Because again, statistically speaking, Google announced with the announcement of Niantic Labs that with Niantic Labs they have been the main gatherer of geolocation data for Google Maps and Earth building. So everything that Niantic did has been used in this way, and us users never got a dime, actually only used our time, money, and energy to drive around, fly around, doing events, and also having a lot of fun But this whole thing, like not gathering this data, because there is a lot of data out there already for mapping and stuff. We don't need your exact data. That's a wonderful thing to hear, and yeah, I really appreciate that. And yes, there is more than enough places out there that already do the KYC when you're going on ramp or off ramp. So why do every single service, game, and otherwise also need to do that? That is insane. Because like we don't normally give our private data to every single thing that we interact with online, like passport, address, and all that. So I understand fully that some servers need that, some servers require that, but why should everything? So that's a really good question and a really good answer, and I'm happy that you guys don't wanna like necessarily go that route. Of course, comply with what is necessary, but nothing more than that. We also have another speaker up here, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce your name. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna slaughter that immediately. But welcome on stage. Do you got any questions for the Globula team? Like Eka Hisla, I can't say that. Any questions?
GM. Can you hear me? Just give me 100. You can hear
Yes,
me.
yes,
Or you don't.
yes.
If my background is not too lousy, just give me 100. If it's
There,
loud, just give me thumb down. Just give me
there,
thumbs
there
down
is
if it's lousy.
there
Let me
is
go
a
down.
bit there is a bit of background noise, but if you just talk slowly,
Okay, don't
it's
worry.
probably
Let
fine.
me go down. Don't worry. Let
Okay.
me go down. Don't worry.
Anyways, yeah. So we've talked about how Globula came to be, how what Globula is, what the team has done, and we have also talked about the mini app. We've talked about their NFT integration. We've talked a lot about gamifying ecosystems. And is there anything else that we're like missed, skipped over? Anything that you guys or anyone else here wants to like uh, ask or think that we have missed? Like drop it in the comments or jump up on stage, or yeah, Solid, Maria, or Miguel, anything we have missed and should cover beforehand. Like Solid already got a hand up. Before you go ahead, Solid, remember everyone that we got the SBT available for another hour. So go claim that. Password is globula.space, the same as the globula .space website, where you can find all the information about Globula. But go ahead, Solid.
Yeah, it's not a compulsory like question, but from Solid also we like to see when there are partnerships being possible or even interoperability between processes. And here, as you probably know, there are some augmented reality communities and tech that have been built for the last years. And one of them, at least as I know, has a Telegram mini app. It comes from the Spheroid ecosystem, and some of the Danish Crypto Hub members are active there. There's also the over the reality stack about augmented reality. Are there any like possible corporations in the coming years, or is it something well you don't need because you're also building everything from the ground up, and you're not envisioning any corporation of that kind?
All right, I'll answer this one. We actually do plan a lot of partnership. Technically wise, also possible because as something we completely forgot about, Global also plan to have an augmented reality, not really add-on, but a part of it where you can actually see Global as an object, right? Not really like in Pokemon, but we're waiting for a good technology for it. We have a good connections, and it would be great if you can introduce us to yet another one, because we're really open for every partnership. Also, partnership with other Telegram mini apps just for exchanging tasks. We like that very much because, yeah, just like anywhere else, buying the commercials, buying marketing space, tipping up influencers. It's always very. It's a question. It's always a question of a lot of money on one hand, and not guaranteed result from another hand. Even though I must say on Telegram, the numbers are really great. They are better than in many other places. But what we see, generally speaking, is there is a lot of abuse, let's put it like that, of users lately. Ever since the Notcoin, who did it great and right, then came the less successful stories of trying to walk the same path, monetize people clicking on another apps and then rewarding people with giving them something back in return. Hooray to Notcoin for that. That was really great. I tapped myself. But partnership in that area, we're definitely looking for. Also in every technological solution, and also for the blockchain part, specifically for Tone, of course, because Tone, like Michael mentioned, and many of you know, is very young in development, and it's missing some interesting solutions that have been already developed elsewhere. We wish that Ton have those solutions, and perhaps with the right partnership, we can deliver it without moving elsewhere, because the chain for us is not that important. The ability of that chain is, and I hope that Globula can grow together with Tom in not only in using its solutions but also in delivering its own. That would be a great accomplishment for us. So if you guys have someone, some interesting projects that you think can be partners with Globula, just DM, let us know, and we are absolutely wide open. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, sure. We are interested in the interesting projects. We don't like to share the traffic with clickers or miners with no utility behind, no ideology, no principles, where people just sell people for several cents. It's not about us. And regarding the monetization and the privacy of the data, we're working with the geohashes. It's hashable data or about the location, so we don't know the current location of the users, and we don't like to sell anything. We are absolutely we hate the solutions like in-app advertisement. I think it's not healthy, and the way how all games and apps monetize the traffic is not healthy at all. There is much more possibilities how to implement and integrate it. And as mentioned, the Marine, the Tone blockchain is not prepared in some technological solutions, because we need the analogs of the ERC standards, Ethereum Virtual Machine standard, to wrapping the NFTs for programmable NFTs. And for example, composable tokens, how we can compose the tokens together into NFTs. This is very interesting, and this is the mechanics we are interested to implement, actually.
There is actually something there I want to say. Even though that I'm a really big Ton enthusiast, for exactly that, blending NFTs a blockchain called Wax, which is an EOS.io fork, has all the tools for that. There is literally for NFT minting, sending, blending, crafting, where like I can build a base character, so myself, and then give like weapons and stuff, and I can take myself, my NFT myself, and the shields and the sword, and craft them together. But but this don't burn them, which it does when you blend things together. It burns the two NFTs and gives you one back. But when crafting NFTs on Wax, it keeps it in a smart contract locked, so you have suddenly get those two items put on your character and you can pull them apart again. So you put two things together and get a third, but you can pull them apart again and get the assets. So like literally for that, there is no better blockchain than Wax for that at the moment. Or at least if somebody could build the tools that Wax have on Ton, that would change the game. But like I was a huge Wax guy before I came to Dawn. I actually have like 40,000 NFTs on Wax. I've never done NFTs. Like only like 40,000.
Yeah, Wax one of my favorites. Yeah, also we are exploring the blockchains a lot. So Wax on the favorite one, near Solana, EVM. Because EVM was the first. There is a much more liquidity on the EVM, but also we communicate a lot with the Scale network. It's a gasless network, blockchain abstracted also, where you can merge the Wax and EVM and Near together, and it will be gasless. So it's developing every day. Yeah. So
also Wax there is gasless. If you put $40 on Wax, like stake it to the network, you have enough to do endless transactions. So it's also basically free. But again, like you just mentioned, one of the most important thing of course at all is like liquidity on the chain as well as the technology, because that was one thing. Again, for the technology part, NFT part, Wax is so superior to any other blockchain out there. But liquidity wise and stuff, it is lacking. There is like, since a couple of years ago when like Funko Pops and stuff, they did their NFTs on there, the hype has trailed down a bit, but they're still doing NFTs on there, and but the user base has gone down, so the liquidity has gone down. You see a lot more of that on there, but still the tools though. And I've talked to Get Gems for like 2.5, 3 years about implementing and they like some of the tools, but of course the Wax is built on C++ contracting, and Ton is built on like Tact and FunZ contracting, so it's a bit different to each other, but it's still like could be amazing to see some of that for sure. I love crafting NFTs. I love like again ownership, and of course there is also the whole art aspect. But just as a gamer and as a like big privacy and ownership like guy, I just want to own things, because again, I don't know, it's a little bit different than many other people normally talk about stuff like this, but people forget about that. Like years ago, we bought games, we bought CDs, we bought movies, we bought music, we had CDs, we had the MP3s on our PCs or the movies on our PCs. Today, everything is done by stores, and you don't own any of it. Like you don't own the games. Like if Steam shut down, I don't have any PC games. If the PlayStation Store shut down, I have like 2 games. There's like 10 years old because I haven't bought physical games in forever. And like that's some things that I'm like going forward. If you want to build as like you guys have mentioned many times, like a real ecosystem, this can no longer happen. This can no longer be allowed to happen. And what you guys also talked about, making this a deep-in interface eventually, so it's going to be decentralized and unstoppable, and keeping up, of course, then done by upgrading and voting on some updates to the code, and like real decentralized gaming with ownership, like, because then it can go on for years instead of suddenly being taken down or you lose ownership. And like like literally I have like 500 games on the PlayStation store, and 200 games on Steam, and in reality I have 0 games, and like that needs to
That's
change,
true.
right?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the recommendation about the box. I will look closer on this chain. I didn't study this chain, but I know several teams who developing the games on the Vox blockchain also. And I would like to ask, is the Vox blockchain is interconnected somehow with the EVM, if it's in the context of the interoperability of this chain? This is interesting part.
There is some bridging built for that, but no, not really, because like the EOS ecosystem, so EOS, Tellus, and Wax has something called IBC, inter-bridging connection. So you can, those chains works interoperably with each other. So I can take my EOS and in a couple of swaps use it on Tellus or Wax, or and use my NFTs where I want flawlessly. But their bridging is being built, but like not fully working. But you can bridge your NFTs to Polygon and
yeah, so
Ethereum.
The bridge, yeah, sure, understand. Yeah, so the thing, blockchain part, from my point of view, you know, it's like a very small database actually. So it's meaningless to to put everything into the blockchain. So I think the on blockchain part must be stuff regarding the ownership, stuff regarding the clear algorithms of the loot generation, and stuff like that. But not everything is good to put on a blockchain, because it's actually it's a very, very, very slow database. In Solana case or Near case also, yes. Important is also a product. People have to enjoy it to get some new emotions and experience. This is important. It's not so important how it was implemented from the technological part, because it's a background, it's a backend. People don't see this thing. Also, they don't see the monetization mechanics we prepared. We have developed our own new kind of monetization model. There are 8 or 9 in the world monetization models basically, and all of them are about the direct monetization. We are against the direct monetization. We don't want to sell the people stuff directly. I think this we passed through this time, and it's a time to develop new monetization models. And we also would like implement our new model. It's so-called play to be, like a bee, you know, like not like a business, but about we are talking about the being. It's a place where people can adjust the being. They can adjust the quality of life. They can get new experience. They can get the basic income through the game. And the main thing from the ideological point of view, if I conclude these projects, we are working for the solution how to compensate the consequences of the technological deployment. Because right now it's very actual question. because I think that our world, our planet, is some kind of MMORPG game, role play, where you can get the resources or money if you are doing your role good. And this game, it's very long game, and they are also winners in this game. They're also Uber players, and somebody talking about that 1% of the people have 99% of all planetary resources. Maybe it's true, something like that. And I think that this traditional MMORPG is going to the end right now, and we need to develop new solutions how to distribute and also redistribute the value, the money between the people, and I believe that the way how we can do it is through the creating the new kind of games, where through the games and new kind of rules and algorithms we can redistribute the value again. So this is the long-term perspective of the Globula project. This is the thing we are waking up every day in the morning and thinking about it, discussing it every day, and what we're trying to do during the 10, 15, next 10 years at least, at minimal. So yes.
Yes,
That is amazing. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, and I just wanted to say that it's already a very big industry, unfortunately in the shadows, but it's been happening for at least 20 years, as I know. People working in games, people working in World of Warcraft, people working in Lineage, people working in, you name it, any game that has assets and it's possible to trade it from player to player, eventually ends up in peer-to-peer market. But unfortunately, there is no ownership, and it's not legally possible. Not legally possible if you're not using something like a blockchain. So, yeah, and that industry has a lot of milliards of dollars, euros, and whatever currency you want to put in there yearly. Everyone knows about it, and there's nothing we cannot do with it. Nobody can do anything about it, right? And it's like Wild West, where you don't know if your account is going to get banned or not. That's very sad. So I'm not saying we want to ride on top of all that industry and somehow do that. What we want to bring is ownership and security into the process. This is important. People need to know that their funds are safu, or how you say it.
Even his funds wasn't safe. He lost his job. So like, no, but yes. Definitely. It like it has a long-term possibility if done right. I'm super excited, and as a long-term Ingress player and a blockchain user and gamer, this is kind of like exactly what I've been looking for, and I definitely hope that I keep seeing you guys expand on this and grow it. And of course, I will do my part to help grow the community and awareness to give a fighting chance, because when you're not Niantic, it's a bit harder to do so. I wanna we have passed the 2-hour mark, and I think that we have covered basically everything about Globula that is possible, plus some other concerns, and just hearing from you guys, like feeling that the people behind the project is real people, having you guys up here and listening to you, hearing you talk about what you feel, what you believe in, makes me a lot more confident about the game, my private data, and long-term success. Again, I'm super bullish because that you guys are so split between your backgrounds. This could have really, really big potential going forward. I want to hear if you guys have any last words before we go to the outro and cut out for today. We have had a long podcast here so far, and it has been a wonderful episode. And yeah, we still have the SBT out there. So if you haven't claimed it yet, everyone in there, the audience, in the comment section or in the jumbotron, the go to the Anton bot and collect your SBT. The password is globula.space, the same as the website. So go claim that while it's available, so you don't miss out. And yeah, any last words from you guys? It has been a real pleasure having you on here, and I really hope to see a lot more from you guys going forward. But yeah, any last words?
Yeah, from my side, Danish Crypto, it was a pleasure to communicate so deeply on topics of interest to us. So thank you very much for the invitation. It's a pleasure for me. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks to Zolit for great questions. That was really amazing. Thank you. It's not that often we get to dive so deep into.
Absolutely.
It has been a real pleasure having you on, and I really hope that we can meet again in a couple of months for another episode and see how things are going. Hopefully, we're expanding even more and have more nice updates, integration, and yeah, maybe just swing by some of the other episodes we're doing and. Drop in with the community, and let's see what we can do together. And I have some ideas for you guys as well, both for partnerships for tappers with some same privacy focused aspects in mind that I want to bring up to you guys that we can do here later if it is. And on the last note here, I want to say again, it has been a pleasure having you guys on, and I really hope that we see more people playing globally. I am sadly so far pretty alone over here. It seems, at least in the chat, there's not much communication yet, but we will get that fixed hopefully soon. Let's go to the outro. This has been Ton Tuesday, episode 106, and we have just interviewed Globula, the geolocation-based game on Ton and Telegram with their own app as well, so go check that out. And that was Ton Tuesday, episode 106, with Globula and myself, Danish Crypto. It was a pleasure. It was a real pleasure having you guys on here. Thanks for swinging by. Remember, claiming the SBT while you can. The code is globula.space. I hope to see you all back here, same place, same time next week. Bye.